Mic check. Alright. See, we got that right there. Sounds like it's good enough. Mic check. Alright. Alright. See if we can get started this evening. Probably gonna start my live without anybody. I don't care. I gotta be consistent. Find some nice background music. Jay. Jay.
Devotees, as we begin this beautiful afternoon in devotion, we pay our pranams, we pay our salutations to Mahavira Swami, taking this golden opportunity once more to touch the feet of our Lord, as we seek at his divine and lotus-like form. As we begin our wonderful afternoon, without further ado, we join in Shri Hanumanji Arati. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Om Shri Gurubhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Aarati ki jai Hanuman Lala ki. Dushta dalana Raghunatha Kala ki. Aarati ki jai Hanuman Lala ki. Dushta dalana Raghunatha Kala ki.
Our fundamental liberties. Last week, Project Veritas founder James O'Keefe became the latest victim of cancel culture when Twitter permanently suspended his account after he exposed hypocrisy and fraud at CNN. Social media giants have been helping to drive the Biden radical agenda by canceling anyone who does not agree with it. Joining me right now is the man himself, the founder of Project Veritas, is here, James O'Keefe. James, thanks very much for joining us. We appreciate your time this morning. Tell us what happened last week and what you're intending to do tomorrow.
Well, Maria, we were banned from Twitter. I was banned from Twitter. Twitter said I, quote, operated fake accounts. I've never operated a fake account in my life. So I sued Twitter for defamation in New York. This comes off the heels of our win in New York State, the Supreme Court of New York State, for defamation. We got passed motion to dismiss, a landmark win in that libel lawsuit from Project Veritas versus the New York Times. More on that in a minute. But we released these series of videos on CNN showing the CNN director calling the network propaganda, saying they're trying to help paint Biden in a certain way to hurt Trump and get Trump out of office, help Black Lives Matter. So those CNN videos were trending #2 globally on Twitter. And then in the third videotape released, they yanked my Twitter account down and said that I was, quote, operating fake accounts. They also banned Project Veritas a month earlier, talking about Project Veritas was violating people's privacy rights for interviewing them in the street, while people who do impersonate me still remain on Twitter. So we're suing Twitter for defamation, Maria, and it's time to go on offense. It's time to use libel lawsuits to hold them accountable.
Well, you know, it's interesting because you have on tape Twitter saying that they wanted to get involved and affect an election. You also have that from Google, right? Do you actually have people at Google telling you on camera, we allowed Trump to win in 2016, we won't allow it again?
Yeah, that was an individual, Jen Janai from 2019 we recorded an executive high up in Google talking about Trump, getting Trump out of office, making those statements. We use hidden cameras. We go undercover to expose these things. Also talking about algorithmic unfairness, which sounds like an Orwellian term. And this CNN director was saying things that do not surprise you. But those videos were doing the thing that Twitter was designed to do, which is, empower citizen journalists. I was quoting CNN director Charlie Chester, and I was relaying to people what he told me. So the right of me to relay what I heard and accurately quote him, and they banned me for doing so. And they manufactured this reason, I quote, operated fake accounts. All this is in a lawsuit that we have filed in New York State. And again, for those of you who think I'm bluffing or these lawsuits don't matter, Project Veritas has never lost a lawsuit in our corporate history because we don't settle. We fight all the way to a jury verdict, and we have never lost, and we've gotten past this motion to dismiss, which is a terrible burden to meet in a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times. We're one of only a few plaintiffs in modern history to have accomplished that, and we want to know we want to depose Jack Dorsey under oath. We want to put these people through depositions and understand exactly what was going through their mind when they maliciously lied about me, saying I operate fake accounts.
Well, we know that right before the election, they banned the New York Post from reporting on the Hunter Biden story, which we all knew to be true, and we watched them ban the New York Post and the reporter on it. Look, we have a statement from Twitter. Let me call for that right now so that we can at least show what they're saying in the face of all of this, because a Twitter spokesperson said that we permanently suspended him for violating the Twitter rules on platform manipulation and spam, as outlined in our policy on platform manipulation and spam. Your thoughts on the Twitter statement on the banning of you? You can't mislead others on Twitter, they say, by operating fake accounts, and you can't artificially amplify or disrupt conversations through the use of multiple accounts. So they're sticking with their multiple accounts that you were operating.
My response is that Drew Griffin from CNN confronted a private resident on her lawn, did not blur the number on the house, and Drew Griffin at CNN still remains on Twitter. And Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, you banned Project Veritas for confronting the Facebook vice president in the street. That's what reporters do. So it's a double standard that's in our defamation lawsuit, and you manufactured this reason, quote, operating fake accounts. There are people on Twitter who are impersonating me who still remain on Twitter. Under any standard, under your own standard, you have double standards. If there wasn't for double standards, you'd have no standards at all. And I will depose you under oath. I will get past this motion to dismiss in this libel lawsuit against you, and tomorrow I will sue CNN for defamation because of what Ana Cabrera said on the air about Project Veritas a month ago. CNN host saying that we spread disinformation, and we were banned for that. Not even Twitter alleges that I was banned or Project Veritas was banned for disinformation. So people every day in this country, people are defamed and lied about constantly, and they don't have the will, the money, the resources to fight back. So Veritas is going to be the tip of that spear. And again, the New York Times lawsuit is a big deal because Facebook banned our voter fraud videos in Minneapolis because the New York Times said that I was deceptive and part of a disinformation campaign. Now, a judge in New York State, said the New York Times was engaging in deception by reporting an opinion in a news article and the implications of this for tech. Since Facebook and Twitter partner with CNN and the New York Times, the implications are staggering. And it's very important a lot of people start suing these people for libel. And you'll see that CNN lawsuit filed tomorrow.
Well, you know, it's extraordinary because the Democrats set the narrative, and then what has been the case is the media, the mainstream media anyway, picks up the mantle and runs with it. We talked about this with Stephen Miller on this program last week. Do you think that government is more powerful or big tech is more powerful? It feels like big tech has been more powerful and dominant than anyone expected when Section 230 was first put into the Telecom Act of 1996. Here's what Stephen Miller says should be done while the Republicans are still in the minority to be ready for when they take the majority he expects in 2022. Listen to Stephen Miller on Section 230.
Go ahead and
We need to modernize regulations to say that those social media entities are public utilities for general use, and they cannot discriminate against Americans based on their religion, based on their political views, based on what they believe. That is a fundamental reform that we should campaign on, and the moment we have the chance, pass it into law.
James, Justice Clarence Thomas really set the tone for big tech. He says it needs to be regulated like public utilities. You can't just exclude people from your services. You said you're suing CNN tomorrow?
We go ahead and hit pause on this.
Yes, I'm suing them for defamation. And Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, there's really...
You guys hearing that loud banging upstairs? Huh? You guys hearing loud banging and stuff upstairs? I really need to get a studio man. All right. That sounds a little too loud. How about now? We good? All right, I'm probably gonna go back and edit this anyway. So, yesterday I did a live. I bombed horribly, because I'm kind of trying to figure out and learn this whole process and sort of develop a show, and I kind of haven't figured out what kind of direction I'm going with it yet. I've been doing a mixture of you know, doing some DIY stuff and just kind of expressing my thoughts on how I feel about stuff. So because I bombed yesterday, I wanted to talk about failure. And the reason I want to talk about failure is because I noticed when I bombed yesterday, I got a lot of criticism. I got people who care about me coming after me and telling me, oh, don't do this and don't do that. And, you know, I get it. People care. And that's understandable. So, on that note, I want to talk about some of my thoughts. Because I do a lot of driving. That's part of my job. And in my driving, I think about a lot of stuff. And it dawned on me that everything in our life, everything that we are to this point, wherever you are in your life, is a product of failure. Don't get me wrong. Listen to what I'm trying to say. Right? I'm simply trying to say that our society teaches us that because you fail, or because you fall, or because you don't make it in something, that you're a loser. And in one sense, that's true. But what they don't teach us is that that's supposed to happen. You're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fall. You're supposed to get injured and get up and go again. You're supposed to feel hurt and get up and proceed. And that's kind of the realization I had today. Is like, I'm proud that I've had multiple failures, because it built me up to who I am now, to this point. And it built you up to this point to make you who you are at this point. Right? So, I think as a society, we need to get comfortable with the idea that it's okay to fail. It's okay to fall down. Right? People are going to criticize. People are going to try to put you down. People are going to try to talk about how, you know, oh, don't do this, don't do that. The ones who love you, they're going to try to keep you from doing what you need to do. The ones who don't care about you, they're just going to try to stomp you down because they don't even have the guts to do what you have the guts to do. Right? You may have spent your whole life having doubts about doing something and worried about something and not living your fullest life and your dream because you're worried about what people are going to say to you or about you. And then you get old one day and you look back on your life and you go, you know that thing I always wanted to do? I didn't do it because I was scared, or I was worried what people were going to say about me or think about me or treat me. And then you realize how stupid it was that you didn't do it sooner, because you allowed some society and those around you to doubt you and to put doubt in you. And so as a society and a community, I think we have failed. We have failed to teach each other, to teach our kids, to teach in school, that failure is life. From the time you are born, you're a failure. And that's the point. You're supposed to fail because it's going to build you up to who you are supposed to become when the time is ready. Right? That's why I don't mind getting on here and getting on these lives and messing up or fumbling through or trying to figure out all this equipment or losing views or followers dropping off or whatever. It doesn't matter, because in the end, I know I'm building up to something. But it takes taking the hits and falling down and stumbling to realize that. So all I want to say on that note is, whatever it is you're thinking about doing, whatever it is you're thinking you've wanted to do or get done in your life, take the part of you that's scared and worried about what people are going to say about you, and just imagine you're taking it in your hand and throw it to the side. Because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Right? I mean, think about it. People fall into depression, drugs, alcohol, I mean, you name it. Right? Because we're not taught from young that failure is a way of life. It is what makes life life. Instead, we're fed all these images from the news, from music, from magazines, from social media, that things have to be perfect. You got to look a certain way. You got to be a certain way. You have to live a certain way. And because we're conditioned with that expectation of what we think our life should be, we just live this long, depressed life of constant disappointment, because we don't think we could deal with anything. So it just dawned on me today that I want to be an advocate for failure. Right? I want to tell you to fail. Whatever you're doing, just do it. You fail? Good. You're going to learn from it. The best teacher. Listen, I'm not the only one saying this stuff. Read any wealth book out there, or any motivational book out there, or anything, spiritual guru, you name it. They all say the exact same thing. I'm not saying anything new. I'm just saying it finally dawned on me, like a brick to your head. You know, it's like, oh, I got this far because I failed. And I had to get up and try again and try something else. Right? So just take that into consideration the next time you want to be hard on yourself, or the next time you want to listen to how people are going to talk about you or to you or put you down. Right? People make fun of me all the time. People laugh at me. People make jokes and prod or whatever. That's okay. That's your fuel. That's your energy. That's what's going to give you the oomph you need to push through. Don't let it beat you down. Don't let them win. And you don't have to hate them either. You don't have to act like they're these evil people and you gotta like hate them back or whatever. No. You just have to realize that they're actually helping you be a better version of yourself. They're giving you something. But it's how you see it. It's the perspective that you get. Right? So, just consider that if you think you're messing up, you probably are, yeah. But go through it. Go through the mess up. Fall down. Hit your face. And get up. Shake yourself off. Dust off. Look around. And say, you know what? Alright. Let's try a different way. Here's another example. Here's one that I do. Right? Every time I kept failing, I would say, okay, where am I going wrong? And then I would look for people who were successful in whatever field or whatever area I wanted to be in, right? Let's say I wanted to be a good technician, or I want to be a good mechanic, or I want to be a good carpenter, or I want to be a good businessman, or I want to be good at understanding spirituality, whatever. I would try to find the best human being who already is good at that and try to copy what they do. Try to look and observe what they're doing. And maybe try to emulate a little bit of that in my life. Right? So don't beat yourself up is what I'm saying. And the reason I'm talking about failure is because I'm seeing how it's damaging the people around me who I care about, and I'm seeing how it's damaging the world actually. Because we live in a world that likes to act like somehow failure is this big evil monster and you should avoid it at all costs. And you know, when we try to avoid it, that's when it comes at you the most, and it gnaws at you. It eats away at you. Because you're not dealing with it. Alright? Anyway, that's my little piece on failure. I just want to throw that in there because I think it was important that you all understand that. Too many people destroy themselves and get hard on themselves and beat themselves up because they look at failure as this big evil monster that should not be happening to them. Guess what? It's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen to you. To all of us. Let's not run away from it. Now, I get it. I understand why it's built into our DNA. Because we're designed to protect ourselves. You know, you're designed to protect your life. You don't want to go down to the lake where there's crocodiles and just jump in the lake and swim and then crocodiles eat you. So I understand that natural instinct. I understand that that's going to be a base level of survival. That's built into our DNA from our ancestors. But I'm specifically just talking about the fact that when you see that there's an opportunity for you to take or to do something in life, stop giving a crap what anybody says. In fact, use it as fuel. The more people tell you X, Y, and Z, the more people tell you don't do this, don't do that, don't do the other, use it as motivation to prove them wrong. To prove to them that they are totally wrong and you could do it too. Or better. Anyway, let me jump off my soapbox on failure. You know. And I want to switch over to accountability and responsibility. That's kind of a jump. And there's a reason why I'm talking about all of this, because I am going through something right now in my personal life where it is it's affecting me very badly. Right? I have problems in my own family. And when I look back at the cause of the problems, the cause of the problem is because we didn't have the proper tools to start out with, right? We weren't taught that you needed to go through all these things and have the right resources and information to deal with it, right? Accountability is the next one. We have to be willing to look at ourselves and say, hey, I messed up that X, Y, and Z, whatever the case is. Maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your job, maybe it's something out there in the world that you have to deal with. You hurt somebody, whatever the case. You have to be willing to face yourself in the mirror or face yourself within yourself and say, I did that. The minute you acknowledge that you did that, don't give yourself no excuses. Don't say it was because of so and so, or it was because of somebody else, or because of this person, or because that person did this to me. Or no, don't waste your time trying to blame anybody for the problems you're having. Yes, the world is full of problems. Yes, there's shitty people on this planet. Yes, shitty people gonna come at you. That's the way it is. But it's how you deal with it. Now, I speaking from experience. I'm not no saint. I'm not perfect. You know how much times I fall down? But I had to dust myself off and get back up and try again. Right? And our schools and our modern families don't teach children these techniques and these tools. They just don't. They don't tell them the truth that the world is a harsh place. And in order for you to survive in this world, you're going to have to be accountable. You're going to have to take responsibility for all your actions. And yes, you're going to run into situations where people are going to test you, test every ounce of you, and break you down. But it's how you deal with it. How do you rise up out of that? So it's accountability. Believe me, when you start processing all this information and going into it really deeply, your life will just start to open doors for you. Opportunities will start coming from everywhere. You wouldn't even know where these opportunities were. You'd be like, oh God, life was hard, and all of a sudden, it's like doors just opening everywhere. Because it's like your mind crack wide open and you start seeing things now. But that you couldn't see because you were so wrapped up in worrying about the world and how the world keeping you down. Now let's finish off this little talk about freedom. With freedom. And everybody have their own definition of freedom and their own idea of what freedom should be. Freedom is your right to be able to go where you want and do what you want and have what you want and whatever. That's true to a certain point. But freedom comes with a consequence. Right? Freedom comes with responsibility and discipline. It's like when they say if you're a superhero and you have superpowers, right? You still have to have some responsibility with your superpowers, because Superman, if you watch all those comic movies, right? Superman have superpowers. But what if Superman take all those superpowers and just mash up and take his laser eyes and burn down the whole city and mash up all the buildings? Right? Then what good is he? He's no longer a hero, right? He's just destroying everything. He's a destroyer at that point. He wouldn't even be Superman. He wouldn't even be called Superman. He'd probably be called Super Destroyer. Right? The same goes for us. Right? Freedom is something we need to kind of take a little pause and understand what it really means. It's a superpower. It's a gift. And everybody have it. Even a prisoner in jail have freedom. Even a slave with a collar around their neck have freedom. Because freedom starts in here. And in here. Right? So you have to understand that you actually have to take that, process it, and understand that freedom really essentially is your responsibility and your discipline. And how are you going to give back to your community? By being free to do so. Right? Once you realize that bondage is just something we make up in our mind. We are in bondage because we put ourselves in bondage. We are prisoners because we suffering in ourselves. We thinking about bondage all the time. All the time. We in bondage. We bondage. Oh God, boy, I had to pay my bills, and I had to worry about where my dollar coming from my next thing, and I had to worry about what to eat, and I had to worry about keeping my girlfriend, and I had to worry about my wife and my children. And we in bondage all the time, and we can't help it. We born into this world. That's how this world make. This world designed that way. Right? So the balance comes in. How do you figure out that level of freedom where you could kind of be in the world but not of the world. You're participating, you're doing what you have to do, you're doing your duty, you're doing your job, you're doing whatever you need to do with whoever, but you're not attached to it to the point where it will keep you as a slave mentally. That's why Bob Marley say emancipate yourself from mental slavery. That's what that means. We all have it in us. We all are slaves. We all in bondage. And that bondage exists only in our head. Nowhere else. And the minute we could say that and we could let it go, is the faster we could just open doors for ourselves, man. Immediately your brain starts to see things happening over there, and you go, oh wow, look at that thing there. Let me go and see what's going on over there. Let me observe. Let me take a look. And you say, wow, this looks like an opportunity, so you take the opportunity. Right? Because your brain not bogged down and heavy and thinking about all the nonsense that we all carry in our heads. So that is all I really want to say. Is freedom. Everybody have this weird notion that freedom is like getting on wild and lavish and orgies and alcohol and this and that and whatever and doing what you want or whatever, but that is not freedom, that is also bondage. You're also a slave there. Because now you're a slave to trying to prove to yourself you're free. So just something to consider. So I'll wrap up tonight's short session because I want to continue developing and making more shows, and if you guys have any ideas for what you think I should be talking about or getting more into, go ahead, send me a suggestion at my email, maheshchookolingo@gmail.com. You can WhatsApp me if you want, if I know you, and I'll go ahead and we'll try to put together a topic. I also want to do something eventually where people could call in and I could talk to them and we have a conversation here live, no problem. And let's just have a conversation, man. Let's just talk about stuff and see what you think about it, and give me some feedback on what I think about. Let me know if I'm stupid in what I say, and I don't know, maybe I'm going mad. Let me know. Anyway, thank you for joining my live, all 5 people. And hey, for people jumping on the live, boy. Yo, everybody here, boy. Yeah, I was just wrapping up the whole live session with Sophie, CP. Imagine if you stopped when we fell trying to ride a bike for the first time. We would have learned, right? Failing, falling, and getting up is part of life. And the ones that are with you when you fall, keep them close. Yes! Sophie CP, you are right. You know? Yeah, we're all mad in this world. So get ready to watch me fail some more. I'm gonna keep failing until I get this right and figure this out, and join me in my journey, right? If you want to, you don't have to. And this music kind of slow, I like my little soca and calypso in the background. I am sure I could deal with this piano thing. But who knows? Maybe it was in line with what I was talking about earlier before everybody came on. Again, all feedback is good feedback, let me know. So, I think I'm going to wrap up this session for the night. I wanted to get that off my chest because I was thinking about it all day today while I was at work. And if you guys have anything else you want to talk about or discuss, let me know. I'll go ahead and post the live. You guys can go back. I'll try to cut out all the wasteful beginning part where I was waiting for people to get on. And we'll work with that. So we guys good for tonight? Yeah, that's right, Kishaba. Never stop trying. All you kids out there, man, don't ever stop trying. You fail, you keep going, you keep trying something else. Something didn't work out, try the next thing. But also, before, okay, let me go get in trouble here. Kishaba. Also, it have another side to that. And that is, even though you're trying different things, you need to make sure that when you pick something, you see it all the way through to know if it is for you or not. When it get a little hard and it get a little difficult, don't just drop it by the wayside and say, me I like that, and you jump to the next thing, because then you ain't really discovering anything about you either. Remember, challenges are also good. It's good to face challenges because it reveals a lot about who you are as a person and what you're capable of dealing with, right? So, you might lose interest in something, but that is okay. But make sure that before you lose the interest, you see it all the way through to make sure you check all angles and say, I checked this, I tried that. I sure I did, I give it my all before I say, right, that's not for me. And you know the surprising thing is, today I was working on a machine and I was remembering how I learned how to work on electronics and stuff like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, working on a manufacturing facility. And now I'm working on mining equipment, and all the knowledge I had from working in that facility that I thought I would never use again is now coming back into my brain and being used for this whole mining thing I do now. This business that I started with my friend. So like every time you think that you're learning something and it have no value to you at that point in time, in the past, you won't believe how 10 years down the road, 8 years down the road, who knows when, maybe 2 weeks down the road, your brain starts taking it like a puzzle and pulling it in, and you start seeing all the experiences you had and you go, oh my God, this is where I need to use it. This is how it's useful. It all makes sense. It was supposed to happen that way. Right? All the different things I did added up. Working on cars, driving trucks, doing this, fixing computers, whatever, working in restaurants, working with a business, in accounting, you name it. All the different variety of stuff I did that I thought had no significance to me at that point in time, all of a sudden started falling into place now. Because my brain started taking all the pieces of the puzzle and putting it together and going, oh my God, that was why I had to go through that thing 10 years ago. And now it's coming in, it's serving my purpose now. Right? Exactly, 100. That's right, Sophie. I need to find a way to get that chat on this screen, because every time I turn over there, I see stuff a little too late. Let's see if I can. Yeah, let me see if I can do that. Boom. There we go. So now I got my chat right there and I got the camera right there. See, all these little things. Trying to figure it out. This Instagram thing don't work. I mean, some people get on and then they drop off because they're like, oh, that guy's talking boring stuff. So I'm not sure. I have to find a way to tie the Instagram into the YouTube so that the audio will mesh somehow. Because I don't think they hear the background music that's playing over here. They're just probably hearing me talking with, like, dead silent, you know. Alright, no, for real. I'm going to wrap up now. So, it was a fun little session. I enjoyed it. Those who came on early, thank you. Those who came on late, you could go back and watch it. And, who else we got on there? Who's six outside? 6 outside high. Hello, 6 outside high. Yeah, man, this setup, I mean, I'm still working on it, you know? I still have my little, look, let me show you what I have set up there. This is, I have the phone running the Instagram right there. Got the 3 screens going on. And then I have the, like, the WhatsApp and the Telegram chats open over there. And you guys are over here on that chat. You know? That's the Mixer Studio. And, that's what we have, man. Little by little, I keep adding stuff, and then I figured out this way to splice. This software allows you to make it like a TV and splice. Splice screens and stuff like that. I'll deal with that. Look, there's a chat going on developing here on. What's this? What we got here? Ace players. What's up?
It's Junior. It's Junior.
Hey Junior, how you doing? Hey, let me splice you in, brother. Hold on. Hey, look at that. I got my first little call. Hold up. You guys are live. You know that?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What, we on the radio?
No, you're on my
Oh, we live with you?
yeah, live.
We
Yeah.
live on some radio or something.
No, you're live on YouTube and you're live on Instagram. Oh yeah, we have 7 viewers right now on the YouTube.
Hey, okay, what?
Huh? Where's your internet? Cause you guys are pretty slow. I try to. No, it's completely dark. I can't see anything.
I need some light. I'm like, man, I give me that. Man, give me some light.
Oh god. Hey Sanjeev boy, you say Sanjeev.
What's up, man?
Oh, upstairs. She busy cleaning that thing. I'm trying to find the. Well, alright, look at here. So I'm gonna join all into the. All the internet down or what?
No, we're by the beach.
You're talking to me from the beach?
Yes,
Which beach you on?
we are Lakewood Beach.
Lakewood Beach, Florida. Anybody down in Florida? Anybody on the chat from Florida? Yeah, we got Sophie from Florida.
Can you see us though?
Yeah, I can see you. I don't think they can see you, but they can hear you. Because
No, we don't want them to see. We are not teasing them. I'm teasing you.
That's Junior?
Yes.
Hello, Mahesh.
Oh my god, he's gotten so big.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Alyssa, come say hi, Uncle Mahesh.
That's where everybody see on Mahesh.
Take it to Alyssa. Alyssa, come here.
Hold on.
So we got some family down in Lakewood on the beach there.
I can't see if you have the lights
There's some
on.
Florida, some Florida family here on the
Oh, Mahesh,
live.
look, Alyssa.
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, Alyssa.
Hi.
Alyssa, you're live. You're on the YouTube. You're live, eh?
We're out here fishing.
You're fishing
Here.
in the night?
Yeah. What's up, bro? You good?
What's going on, Uncle?
We do anything? Normal scene?
Nice, nice. All you fishing?
Yeah, we try nothing.
All you on that little that liquid place where all you carry me before?
Yeah, right there, exactly
Right.
that same place.
Yeah. That's as if you went on Boynton Beach
Good
and then you, yeah, I like yeah man. They have a bunch of people and thing chatting and thing while you talking.
So you're on there's your own show there. You start
Yeah.
your own show finally.
Yeah.
Alright.
Wait a long time but I do it finally, yeah.
Alright, so come on there every day and yeah, do some shit.
Alright.
Which one?
I now finish talking some stuff here and you can go back and play it back. So
If I
now,
tell you, no, I don't have time for that. I do watch TV, go and play back, watch Facebook. I do at that moment, and that moment is great all the time. You know, man.
right. No, I know, man. That's the way to live life, man, in the moment. Enjoy the moment, man.
You
I
good?
remember going on the beach with all you and fishing, man. That was a nice time, man.
Yeah, that we just do
Do it
it.
again. Where?
Huh?
When you coming?
Hope it's some time this year.
Can't wait.
We're using
What
it
chair?
to sit down.
The chair right there on the ground?
No.
Yeah, we're sitting there. We're using it to sit down on.
Ask me about that chair.
So how you
Alright.
been?
Huh?
How you been?
I've been alright, man. Hey, so this
Oh.
turning into like a personal conversation. So I'm gonna jump off the live here and I'll talk to all you here. Two seconds. 1
Alright.
second.
Alright.
Alright, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Looked like it turned into a conversation with the family. So I'm gonna jump over to there, talk to them. If you wanna see me on the Instagram, go ahead. And thanks for watching.